up this Friday, the Maine Celtics will tip off their brand new season. The men in green will take on Greensboro in back-to-back games Friday and Saturday night in North Carolina.
Joining us this morning to talk about the opening weekend and the upcoming season is brand new Maine Celtics head coach Phil Pressey. And Coach, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, first of all, training camp started back on October 27th. How are the players and the team looking so far?
Players are great. Everybody's healthy. Being able to have multiple guys who were with the Boston Celtics training camp a couple weeks prior has definitely helped us build our foundation. Having guys like Ron Harper and Cam Warrens and Hassan Ward, who were a part of the team last year, is definitely helpful. But everybody's excited. Everybody's ready to go.
Opening night is Friday, like we mentioned. How have you been getting the team ready for the regular season?
How have I been getting the team ready for the regular season is just by building that mindset. Our standard is the same, whether if we're up here in Portland or if we're down in Boston. The standard is a standard. Effort for us is a non-negotiable, and I feel like being able to instill that into these guys will only help them, especially further in their career.
Phil, you're the first former Boston Celtic player in franchise history to be the head coach of the Maine Celtics or the Red Claws. How exciting is that, and kind of keeping it in the family?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. Being able to play here as a player in Maine, as well as in Boston, was a great honor. Now to be a head coach here up here in Maine is even better. I feel like I'm doing what my calling, and that's just being in basketball and giving back to the game. So I'm just super excited to be in this position, and I plan on having one of the best years yet.
And you actually played one game with the then Maine Red Claws back in 2015. Can you talk about your brief time with the team?
My one game here, I remember it like it was yesterday. My wife and I drove up from Boston. It was cold, it was a lot of snow, but there was a lot of energy in the building. When I first, touched the court, I could feel the energy, and it was similar to Boston. So being able to have that same feeling, didn't matter if I was down in Boston or if I was up in Portland, Maine, it was a great feeling.
Speaking of Boston, you played in 148 career NBA games, including 125 with the Boston Celtics. How was it playing for the Green Team down in Beantown?
Amazing. That was my childhood goal, was to make it to the NBA and play in the NBA. Fortunately, I was able to do it for one of the best franchises in the NBA. Being able to, play with some of my idols, play against some of my idols was definitely like a lifelong dream. But super blessed to have a head coach like Brad Stevens as my first year. He built the foundation for my professional career as a player. And now as a coach, I can take some of the things that he taught me and implement them into my team.
And you've been in player development with the Celtics since 2023 after coaching at your alma mater, Missouri, for a while. How important is that experience since the G League is a developmental league?
Yeah, I really feel like we're always in player development. Personal development is something that, I hang my hat on. That I think where everybody's developing every single day. Being able to work with Al Horford, who was an older player. He was working on his game, first person in, staying after to get extra shots up. But as somebody at that age could be into player development, that means everybody should be in player development. So as I instill that mindset into the young guys that we're always in player development, it's only going to make them a better player.
Boston Celtics coach Joe Mazzulla has said that you bring lots of energy and a willingness to learn. What do you think you bring to the table as a head coach?
Really what you just said, that energy. I think energy is contagious, and I feel like instilling that into the players. There's two things that I think that I know that we can bring every single day and that's our attitude and our effort. And those are two controllables that I want to instill into our guys. And I feel like me being in this position, I've been in their shoes before, so I should be able to give them the knowledge that they need to make it to the next level.
What would you say is your style of coaching, and is it different from other coaches that you've had experience with?
I would say I'm of course, a player coach, right? I've been in their shoes, but I try to coach with emotional intelligence. That's something that I hang my hat on. never, not to try to get too high, try to get too low. Be self-aware as much as I can. Self-regulate my emotions. When it's gonna get crazy in games, and trying to, stay calm in those moments. But also, when the moment needs it, I can, bring the energy and the passion that's needed.
Coach, you're coming to a G League team that has had some recent success. The Maine Celtics finished 29-21 last season, made it to the third straight Eastern Conference Finals. We've talked about development, but how important is it to win here, too?
Oh yeah, I feel like winning takes care of itself. Winning is a byproduct of what you do on a daily. So what we're doing in practice, what we're doing in film, how we're, eating, how we're getting our recovery, how we're sleeping, how we're hydrating. I feel like winning is a byproduct of what you do on a daily. So the wins are going to take care of itself. We just have to focus on getting 1% better every single day. And I feel like winning is a byproduct of that.
You feel like you have what it takes to win this weekend?
Of course, that's what we plan to do. Every single day is an opportunity for us to get a little bit better. Wins and losses will come and go, but the most important thing is that we stay level-headed. When we win, not to get too high, and then when we take a loss, not to get too low, just to stay level-headed and understand it's a season. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Well, Phil, from all of us here on Arc Maine, welcome back to Portland, Maine.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us this morning.